I love a glossy eye. I freaking love a good glossy skin with glossy eyes, with glossy lips. I just love it. Alright everyone, so let's get started. Now for today's video, as you're seeing, I was kind of feeling more cozy, so I'm sitting on my couch. But I'm going to be here for, I think, the first half of the video. If I'm too comfortable, I might stay here for the rest of the makeup tutorial. I don't know, we'll see. Today's my birthday, so I can do whatever I want to. But anyways, so for today's video, I've been getting a lot of requested from you guys to show you how I create my makeup looks and how I create my face charts. It's nothing very fancy, it's not very precise. I like to do my face charts just to give me an idea of where the makeup should go, just so that I have something planned for the video, because whenever I don't really have something planned, it's either going to look good or very bad. So I like to do a face chart just to be sure that the makeup look will look good. But yeah, so today I thought that I would sit down and create the face chart for today's video with you. So here is my screen. I usually always begin on Pinterest. I feel like Pinterest is a really good way to find colors, find shapes. And I don't really look at makeup looks on Pinterest. I usually just scroll through my feed until I see something that's interesting. I'm really mad at myself because this morning when I woke up, I went on Pinterest and I saw one photo that I cannot find anymore. I took a screenshot of it, so I'm going to show you right now. But that picture did really inspire me. I really liked the colors. I really liked the yellow and the blue and the very deep black. So that photo might be an option for today's face chart, but I'm still going to scroll through my feed right here just to see if there's anything else that might interest me. I really like this one right here. I like this one because there's red or orange and there's some transparency, like some black transparency. So I'm just going to do a screenshot of this one really quickly. I kind of really like it. And like I said, it doesn't really have to be a makeup look. Like for example, if I look at this poster right here, it makes me think of like an eyeliner with another white line. Like you could use anything that you see, like posters, logos, photos, and inspire yourself from the picture. It does not have to be a makeup look. So I keep thinking of the first picture I saw this morning, so I think I'm going to stick with that picture. Next step, I like to go on Instagram and just scroll through my feed. And if I see like something, like for example this, I really like the angles of this. And just see if I can find like maybe an eyeshadow shape that I enjoy. Like I really like this, where you have like a outer corner crease and a really shimmery lid. Okay, so just going through my feed really quickly, I'm not really finding anything that inspires me. Oh, that's really pretty though. But I'm not finding anything that really inspires me. So I'm going to go back on Pinterest and I'm just going to write makeup. I like this. I like the very like unblended eyeshadow on the outer corner and then a very smoky inner corner. That's really pretty. I also like this one where you have a really bright lower lash line. So I think I have a pretty good idea what I want. Alright, so now I've just opened Photoshop. I just went online and on Google I just wrote face chart and I took like the first picture I saw. So now I'm just going to take that and put a skin tone shade on top. I'm going to put it on the... Oh, my Photoshop is in French. I think this is the multiply in English, but in French it's produit, but yeah, I think it's multiply. So I'm just going to really quickly erase whatever is in the eyes, just so that it looks better. Now, this is the part where I just test some things, see what I like, see what I don't like. Sometimes this process can take me maybe 15 minutes, sometimes it could take me 30 minutes or 2 minutes, it really depends. So I'm just going to really quickly fool around, see what I can do. Okay, so I'm starting to like this shape right here. So as you probably noticed, I'm very obsessed with the rounded inner corners at the moment. So I did a rounded outer corner and then a very harsh cut crease and then a very smoky outer corner. And I do want to incorporate the yellow and the kind of like bluish purple shade. So whenever I'm finished with a makeup look, I always like to like remove some of the layers just to see if like something can be improved or if something is like too much. For example, right now I feel like the purple under the eyes is just a little bit too much. So I think I'm just going to tweak with the purple a little bit more. So I think I like this much more. I feel like the purple is more incorporated into the makeup look. I feel like it was just too much on the lower lash line. Next, this would be the part where I would try some different lip shades. I don't do that every single time because I usually wait till the end of the makeup look to decide which lip shade I want to go for. But yeah, so that's pretty much it. So I really hope that this segment was useful for you. Let me know in the comments below if you would like to see this kind of segment more often. I feel like it's really satisfying seeing a makeup look going from the face chart to the face itself. But yeah, so let's jump into the makeup. So I decided to change setup because I was starting to like fall asleep on my couch. So we're back with the normal setup. So let's just dive into the makeup. Starting with the eyes, using my MAC Pro Longwear paint pot, I'm going to prime my whole lid area from the inner to the outer corner, and I'm also going to apply some on my lower lash line. And because I already know that I'm going to do a very intense inner corners, I'm going to make sure to apply a very generous amount in my inner corners. Now, what you could do if you don't want to go right in with the black pencil liner, you could take a brown eyeshadow with a very precise brush and sketch out where you want the line to go. But I think I'm going to go straight with the black liner today, and I'm going to be using the NYX Kohl liner in the shade Black. So I'm going to start and from my inner corners create a line going towards my crease, and then it's going to go very far towards my brow. So from the very point of my inner corner, I'm going to create a line very slowly. It's going to curve up towards my crease. And I do want the line in my inner corners to be very precise, but the one on the outer corner does not have to be precise because we are going to be blending it out after. And now I'm going to take that line from the center of my crease and wing it out towards the end of my brow. Just to correct the shape a little bit, I'm going to take a Q-tip with nothing on it, and I'm just going to clean the black Kohl liner a little bit. So now what I'm going to do, I'm just going to intensify that line on the outer corner, make it as dark as I can. And I feel like that line in my inner corners is not intense enough. So I'm going to take that line and bring it towards my lower lash line. And also I forgot that on my face chart, I wanted the line to go on my lower lash line and not on my upper lash line. So I'm just going to remove some of the Kohl liner that's on my upper lash line. Alright, so now we're going to start doing some blending. So I'm going to be using both these brushes, so the JH40 brush and the JH42 brush. The JH40 is a fluffier blender brush and the 42 is a very small packing brush. And I like to use the very tight JH42 brush to begin the blending process. And then I'm going to go in with the fluffier one to smoke the Kohl liner out even more. So I'm just going to start with the 42 brush, and only on the outer corner I'm going to start and blend that shade downwards, doing very small windshield wiper motion. And I do want the line in my inner corners to be very precise, so I'm not going to blend that towards my inner corners too much. And I'm also going to be doing a lot of back and forth between the Kohl liner and the brush until I have the blend and the intensity that I want. I do want this shade to be very, very blown out, but I'm starting very small and building as I go and adding more color as I go. I don't want to apply too much at once and not being able to remove the black. And also I'm going to start and smudge that black kohl liner towards the corner of my eye. And now that I'm pretty happy with the shape I have going on, I'm going to start just adding some kohl liner where we smudged the kohl liner towards our outer corner. So I'm just going to intensify that shape even more. And I want the smokiness to go downwards, so I'm really going to be generous and smoke that kohl liner down. And I'm also going to start and take that a little bit on my lower lash line on the outer corner. Alright, so I'm pretty happy with the shape that I have right now with the kohl liner. So next I'm going to go in a black eyeshadow. I'm going to take the black from the Jaclyn Hill Volume 2 palette, but you can take any black shades you have. I'm going to take that with a very precise angled brush. And I'm going to use that shade to set the kohl liner down, but also to intensify the color and make it even more smoky. So I'm just going to start by dabbing that black shade on top. And then with my JH40 brush, I'm going to blend that black shadow out, doing very small circular motions. And then with a fluffier brush with nothing on it, this is a Lavish blender brush, I'm just going to go over the black and blending that very heavily downwards. I really want all the smokiness to go down. Next, with a very small precise brush, this is a BH Cosmetics brush, I'm going to take that black shade and I'm just going to set the kohl liner that's in my inner corner. So I'm just going to go over all of that black just to make it more intense and so that it doesn't crease. Looking good. So now for the fun part, we're going to go into the purple shade from the Jaclyn Hill Volume 2 palette. So I'm going to go in the shade Not My Journey. Actually, I'm kind of hesitating. I really like this purple shade from the Pat McGrath Mothership palette. Let me start with that one first. So I'm going to take the purple shade from the Pat McGrath Mothership palette with a packing fluffy brush. And I'm just going to dab that on my outer corner. But it's not going to go under my eye. I'm mainly going to keep that over the black kohl liner. And then with another fluffy brush that has nothing on it, I'm just going to go over that purple just to smoke it out even more. I think I want to make that shade more purple, so I am going to use just a little bit of that purple from the Jaclyn Hill palette. And I'm going to dab that on top, but a very small amount. And then I'm going to take just a little bit more black and re-intensify the black where we applied the purple on top of the black and make a really nice gradient from black to purple. And then with the same brush, I'm just going to add just a little bit of purple on top of the line in my inner corners. And with another precise angled brush, I'm going to take that purple from the Jaclyn Hill palette and I'm just going to dab that at the base of that purple just to make it more purple. Alright, so now I still need to put the yellow in my inner corners. So I'm going to be taking my Morphe 24A palette that I depotted and I'm going to take the neon yellow shade from that palette. I'm going to take that with a small precise flat brush and I'm going to dab that shade very heavily in my inner corners. So I think I like it and I think I'm even going to do a gloss in the center of my lid. I feel like a glossy eye with this eyeshadow would look nice. So I'm probably going to add gloss at the end of the makeup so that the gloss does not crease all over the place. I think just to make this shape even more clean, I'm going to take some micellar water with a Q-tip and I'm just going to clean that upper part of the black kohl liner just so that it's as clean and sharp as possible. So next I'm going to apply my mascara. So I'm going to be taking the Milk Rise mascara and I'm going to do a very generous layer of that. Alright, so here we have it. I'm mad because this eye is way higher than this one. Okay, I need to correct that actually, it's way too much. Okay, that's a little bit better. So before we start working on the complexion, I'm just going to remove all the fallout. And today I really want my complexion to be super dewy and super glassy. So I'm going to be using for my primer the Pretty Fresh Glassy primer from Touch and Soul. If you have not tried this primer yet and you love dewy complexions, you will be obsessed with this. This primer gives such a nice shine to the skin. It's so hydrating and it allows any complexion makeup to glide really nicely on top. So yeah, definitely a really good primer. So I'm just going to take a little bit of that and I'm going to massage this into my face. For my foundation today, I'm going to be using the Kuo Beauty liquid foundation in the shade Ivory C2. I've been really liking this foundation. It's very lightweight and it does have a lot of coverage. I'm just going to take some of that on the back of my hand and dab some of that all over my face. And with my Rare Beauty foundation brush, I'm just going to bounce that all over my face. It's the first time I'm trying this foundation with this primer and I can already tell that I'm obsessed. I love this. Like, the foundation is very lightweight and it does have a good amount of coverage, and that primer is just making the foundation look so dewy and so natural. For my concealer, I'm going to be taking these two actually. These are the Benefit Boiing concealer. I'm going to be taking the Bright On to brighten certain areas of my skin, and then I'm going to take the Cakeless concealer for my under eyes. And for my bronzer, of course, to get a really dewy effect, I'm going to be using the Tower 28 Illuminating bronzer in the shade West Coast. And usually I do use a beauty blender to blend that bronzer into my skin, but I'm very lazy and I never want to get up and wet my sponge. So today I'm going to try and use the duo fiber brush that I usually use for my blush. I think it's going to be nice because these kind of brushes do apply creams really nicely. So I'm just going to heat up the product, put some of that on the back of my hand, and I'm going to grab that with the brush from my hand, and I'm just going to dab that on the perimeter of my face. Complexion is looking freaking amazing. That primer, that foundation, and that bronzer, beautiful together. Really pretty. For my blush, I think I want to use this one right here because it's a purpley shade. It's the first time I'm going to try this shade actually. This is the Rare Beauty liquid blush in the shade Believe. So I'm just going to take some of that on the back of my hand. It's such a pretty shade. And I'm actually going to apply that with the same duo fiber brush. So I'm just going to take some of that, test that on the back of my hand because I don't want this to be too intense. And I'm just going to dab that on my cheeks. So I'm just going to fill in my brows really quickly because my face is looking very empty. So to do that, I'm going to be using the Precisely My Brow pencil in the shade number 3. And then I'm going to set my brows in place using the 24-hour brow setter from Benefit. And I just had a thought. I don't want to get emotional, but like today has been 1 year since I decided to go into makeup, and it's really crazy like how one decision can affect your life. And like makeup has become a really like important part of my life, and it used to not be because I wanted to be realistic with my career choice. I'm much happier into makeup than into graphic design because I'm technically a graphic designer. So yeah, it's kind of really weird that it's already been 1 year since I decided to do my YouTube channel and my Instagram page, and I'm really looking forward into the future. Like I'm very optimistic about what's to come, and thank you so much for your support because I wouldn't be here if it weren't because of you. It's kind of really cliche and cringy to say that, but it's true. It's true. So thank you so much for your support, and I see your comments, I see your messages, and it's really crazy how this community has grown within 1 year only. So yeah, I'm very optimistic about what's to come. Alright, so brows are on and I'm definitely feeling much more complete. For my highlight, I'm going to be taking the Makeup by Mario Master Secret Glow highlighter in the shade Expensive and thing is very expensive. I always say that. It's very expensive Vaseline. So I'm just going to take that with my finger and I'm going to dab that on the very high points of my cheeks. Alright, so now for the lips, I don't know which shade to go for. I think I'm going to go for something nude. So I'm going to be using the Rare Beauty matte lipstick in the shade Fearless. And before that, I'm just going to outline my lips with the Makeup Forever Artist Color Pencil in the shade Endless Cacao. And I'm going to use that to contour my lips and make my lips look fuller and bigger. For my gloss, I'm going to be taking the Morphe lip gloss in the shade Freebird, and this gloss is amazing. I don't know why I don't use it more often. It's like a very highly pigmented brown pink shade. It's just beautiful and the shine on this is intense. Alright, so now I'm ready to apply this on my lids. So this is the Makeup by Mario Master Secret Gold in the shade Expensive. It's the highlight we use on our cheeks. And I'm going to take that with a flat brush. And I'm going to dab that in the very center of my lid right here. Alright everyone, so here we have it. This is the finished look and let me say, I'm freaking obsessed. I love a glossy eye. I freaking love a good glossy skin with glossy eyes, with glossy lips. I just love it. But yeah, so that's pretty much it for today's video. I really hope you enjoyed, and I also really hope that you enjoyed the first half of the video where I showed you how I create my makeup looks. Don't forget to subscribe to my channel. I put up new videos every single Mondays, so subscribe so that you don't miss any of the Makeup Mondays. And that's it. So thank you so much for watching, and I will see you in the next one.